Oh, we're live. Hello. Hi, I'm Gwyneth.
I'm Miles. I'm an exercise physiologist here at Fixer Upper Fitness.
And I'm Zach. You've seen us here before. We're here for our frequently asked questions video on Friday, and today we have Miles with us. He stuck around. Gwyneth, was there?
I mean, you cut me off. I was going to do the intro. He got really excited, and I was going to say, it's okay. It's FAQ Friday.
Who's that?
It's Morgan.
Mr. Hazel.
Mr. Hazel.
The legend.
The legend.
All right, starting over. Hi, I'm Gwyneth, and this is FAQ Friday at Fixer Upper Fitness. And today, our question is, how often should I weight train? That's kind of one of the popular questions that we get at the gym. People come in thinking that they have to have like 5 or 7 hour-long sessions a week, and that's a big time commitment. I think that sometimes is a fear for our clients that they can't, do all of that in one day.
Right, and it's really one of the benefits to having a personal trainer, that someone had to set that guideline for you of how much work should you actually be doing to avoid injury or anything like that. So there is a principle that we use here at Fixer Upper Fitness, and a lot of trainers will use that, and it's really simple. We're going to go through those today. So how often should you resistance train? And we're going to break down what's called the F.I.T.T principle, and you may have heard that before in some of our other videos, or maybe just in talking to us, asking questions online and whatnot. But the F.I.T.T principle is an acronym, and it stands for frequency, intensity, time, and type. And so we're going to break these down one by one, beginning with frequency. So Miles, what do we know about frequency of workouts for resistance training?
Okay, yeah, so that's good, Zach. Let me just touch on one thing. These are guidelines that are for apparently healthy individuals. So those that don't have any specific exercise limitations or health concerns like cardiovascular disease, metabolic disorders, pulmonary issues, things of that nature. So with that being said, we'll start at frequency, and ACSM recommends 2 to 3 days per week, and you're going to utilize major muscle groups. So as an example, is if you were doing a squat, a great lower body exercise, you're going to hit the hamstrings, the quadriceps, and the glutes, okay? Now, 2 to 3 days a week is very important for rest and recovery, and so that's where nutrition is a very important component to that, right, Gwen?
Absolutely.
So you really want to recover when you're doing your training. You're really breaking down those muscle tissues and fibers. So you want to have time between 24 to 72 hours to rest and recover. So that way, when you come back, you're ready to hit it hard again.
And Miles, this is just for like resistance training, right? Like,
yes.
Can you do cardio in between those days?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this is just for resistance training. It's a little bit different than when you're doing your running, swimming, things of that nature.
Perfect.
Right.
So when you mentioned breaking down muscle fibers, that's something that you hear like, oh, I the burn or the DOMS, or I'm sore. Like, how do we just go in and we do any kind of squat, we're going to have muscle fibers tear? And is there a certain level that we need to work out at to achieve that? I guess that's the next one, right?
Yeah, so that brings us into our next point, which is your intensity. So we did our frequency, now we're going to move to intensity. And the recommendations for moderate to vigorous weight training are going to be 60 to 80% of your estimated 1 rep max. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is a 1 rep max, right? All right, so in simplest terms, a 1 rep max is if you have a particular weight and you can move that weight one time, no more than that though. So as an example, if you had a bench press and you're pushing that bar up and you can do it one time but no more than that, that would be your 1 rep max. Now, if that's 100 pounds, if it's 60 to 80% of that, you would start at 60 pounds and be able to lift that 10 to 12 times, okay? You can also start, especially for deconditioned folks and those who are new to exercise, you would want to start about 50% or a little bit lighter than that, because for safety precautions, you always want to start with a lighter weight before moving to a heavier weight, right, Zach?
Yeah, so our first 2 concepts there, the frequency of your workout is important, and second is the intensity. What is the third part of the F.I.T.T principle?
The third part, and I'll have you touch more on this, is your time. How long should your workout be? How long should it be, Zach?
Well, here at Fixer Upper, we do 30-minute strength conditioning sessions. We also do 60-minute strength conditioning sessions. Now, it's important that there really is no set guideline for your time of your workout. In my opinion, and what research is really starting to show, is that you should look at it more along the entire week of exercise. How many workouts are you getting in per week? And for resistance training, and for the most positive effect of your resistance training, you really want to get 15 to 20 sets of exercise per muscle group. So Miles mentioned legs, or strengthening the legs with a squat. And say you do 3 sets of squats on Monday, and then you do another set, 3 sets of lunges. Well, that would be 6 sets for one workout. You want to try to get throughout the week 15 to 20 sets per exercise per muscle group. So it's important to plan your workouts accordingly for your schedule, what you have for that day. So if you only have 20 minutes one day, make sure you go back the next time you train legs and maybe add a few more on there. So look at the week when it comes to your time. Remember, don't be discouraged if you don't get that workout in, another full workout in. Just the fact that you're getting in there is really great, but just aim for that week-long outcome. That 10, 15, 20 sets is optimal if you're an experienced lifter with no medical issues or considerations to take into consideration. So.
Yeah, good point, good point. So we went over frequency, intensity, and your time. So the last one is going to be your type of exercise. So ACSM recommends that we start with multi-joint movements followed by single joint movements. And what that means is you're going to start with exercises that utilize multiple muscle groups prior to doing exercises, isolation exercise that might just isolate one particular muscle group. So I'll give you an example. Classic is doing a push-up. So that's going to focus on the chest, the anterior portion of the shoulder, and the tricep. So you got a lot of different muscle groups going on there. So you would do a movement like that prior to doing, say, a tricep push down, where you were simply just focusing on the tricep. All right, so that's a good example for that one.
Yeah, one of the things is that, to put it more common, is just if you're in the gym by yourself, or say you're one of our clients here at Fixer Upper and you go off on vacation, work big to small, work big muscle groups and then go down to small. So, and if you can only get a certain muscle group in, work the big one out, okay? You don't want to walk into the gym and just hit your tris and bis, right? It'd be much more beneficial for you to walk in and try a couple rounds of push-ups, a couple rounds of pull-ups, and a round of bodyweight squats. You're going to get far better of a workout at that point, and it's going to be easier on your body. You're less likely to get injured, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, if you can do anything, go start big muscle groups, and then go small.
Yeah, good point. So we just want to touch on a few more things. Your sets and reps. So a set would be basically the amount that you're doing within a certain exercise. So if you complete 10 reps and you take a break, that would be 1 set. So ACSM recommends 2 to 4 sets per exercise, and then 10 to 12 repetitions for strength training. All right. So, however, even if you're new to exercise, you can complete 1 set and you will still receive benefits from doing that.
Sure.
All right.
It looks like we received a question in the video. Mr. Hazel, aka my dad, says, if I'm old, should I just give up? Miles, you want to take that one?
No, absolutely not. Come on, Mr. Hazel.
That actually is a good question, because there are a lot, to take it more serious. There are a lot of folks who disqualify themselves right off the bat because I'm old. I can't do what I used to do when I was young. And really, your muscles, this is kind of a weird way to look at it, but your muscles do not know how old you are. So that means, think about it this way, that means they will always respond the same way. They might not always respond as effectively as they do when you're young, but when you give your muscles an overload and you challenge them to do something that they weren't able to do, something that's very hard in the gym, like resistance training, there's only one response. They're going to make the change to try to get stronger. And like I said, it might not be as great a change. You might not be able to, make the gains. You might be a little more sore. It might take longer to get to that goal, but your muscles will always respond the same way. A 90-year-old lady can get stronger in the gym just as quickly as an 18-year-old athlete can. So not as quickly, but in the same manner as which. So that's a great question. Yeah, don't give up.
That's right. So that brings us, I just want to touch off what Zach just mentioned, is progression. So you always want to progress. You don't want to remain stagnant. And you can do that a few different ways. You can increase the weight, obviously, is one, but you can also increase the frequency. So if you're training 2 days per week, you can increase that to 3 days per week. You can also increase in reps. So if you do an exercise 10 times, then you can increase to 12 repetitions, and increase in sets. If you're doing 2 sets, you can move to 3. So there's a number of different ways to essentially reach that goal of getting better, getting stronger, and improving your overall health and well-being. So
cool. Thanks, Miles.
Yeah, absolutely.
your wife says, hey guys, so.
Oh,
What's going on? Aren't you supposed to be teaching those kids?
Very cool. Well, thank you, Miles, for joining us today.
Yep.
Brought a lot of great information to you guys. If you're not even sure where to begin, I will encourage you to check out our video about SMART goals.
Right, it'll be right.
Zach's going to put a link if you're watching on our
Right over
YouTube
there,
channel.
right there. Yeah.
Over Miles's head.
Right.
And so that is a great video to look at just if you're not sure where to begin. Want specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. So that's a great video to get you started. And then if you're not really sure if you have a gym membership but you're not sure how to use it, sometimes a personal trainer, I know that we're all personal trainers, so it's like a shameless plug, but sometimes a personal trainer can be really helpful in guiding you through, because there's a lot about exercise that just a normal person might not know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And always ask us your questions, and
Yes.
our numbers are all on our website at FITTSharperFitness.com. We look forward to your questions, and we enjoy answering those questions for you because we all have the same goal, and that goal is to help you guys reach your goals and live a higher quality of life. So we look forward to talking to you guys soon and hearing.
Oh, wait, we
hearing
have
from you guys.
another question.
Do we have another
I'm
question?
sorry, there's another question.
Always.
What is a good cardio to weight training ratio?
That is a good question right off the bat there. The ACSM recommends 150 minutes of aerobic activity per week, and that's for someone who's healthy with no extra special considerations. And so that can be as simple as going for a walk. It does have to tie into your age-predicted heart rate and the percentage of that to get to a low to moderate level of intensity or a vigorous level of intensity. But usually you want to incorporate that at some point in or around your workout. If you're doing vigorous work, that's like a high intensity workout.
Yeah.
You need less of that. So you could actually kind of blend those a little bit.
Just say if you do vigorous, it might be 3 days a week. So you're doing really hard workouts, your heart rate's really elevated. It might be 80% of your estimated max heart rate, 90% of your estimated max heart rate. So, and you could do a combination of those. You might do a light to moderate cardiovascular training session, a day, and then you might bump it up. So, and you want to try to meet that 150 minutes though. So.
And recent research from the ACSM on that very topic says they've really honed in that is the best benefit, that 150 minutes of moderate activity. There's a serious drop off right after that when you do more than 150 minutes. And so if you really want you to get to that 20 to 30 minutes per day, anything more, 150, 100, 200 minutes, you're really not getting any greater gain after that. So it's all about setting your SMART goals and your schedule to be able to get that 150 minutes in per week.
Yeah. Overall, I think just making it match your lifestyle. So if you don't have a gym membership, you don't need one. Maybe a brisk walk with your dog, or just make it match your lifestyle is really important. We want it to be attainable. Remember,
attainable goals are important. And then also, as always, don't kill yourself if you don't reach the goal. If you have a week where you get 120 minutes or 100 minutes, that's okay. It's always better. 10 minutes is better than nothing, and there's a noticeable increase or progress in 10 minutes. So,
absolutely.
Thank you for all the questions. We're not going to answer any more questions today. We need to answer more questions next week.
Yes.
But thank you guys for joining us today on our frequently asked questions. Miles, thanks for sharing us the FIT principle. Remember, the FIT principle is how we set our goals for working out, and this is for resistance training: frequency, intensity, time, and type. We look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Thanks, Miles.
And happy Valentine's Day.
And happy Valentine's Day. That's right. That's right.
Cool. See you guys next week. Thank you.